Alright, this was a hidden door. So let's see what we find inside of it. Some goods. Please unlock those, Pascal. And then data altar of sacred analysis. What do we got? The concentrated green screen lights up as you approach it and displays the flashing message, Pilgrim. Only the words of the first galvanic hymn will reveal to you the gifts hidden behind the veil of knowledge. Now chant with me. Let us sing this canticle too. The device's keyboard lights up, clearly expecting you to enter the rest of the verse. So we can type in random things, interrupt the prayer, or just say, Pascal, how's this hymn go? I'm thinking this might be what we were just told, to sing a specific hymn to open a door. So this is probably what we have to do to rescue those other people. Pascal, kind of remind me how this hymn goes. Pascal's vox lets out a noisy groan as if he's clearing his throat, but then stops abruptly. After a brief pause, he averts his gaze and says in a rasping voice, It is not known to me. Only high-ranking servants at the shrines of energetic prosperity are permitted to perform the first galvanic hymn. Can I open my inventory? Because that means we probably got a book that has it. First galvanic hymn. Let's just interrupt the prayer, which I'm hoping is step back. Yes. What have we got lately? Newest items. Roar's sermon. No. These are things we found out in Rykad Minoris, like the main Rykad Minoris. Oh, while I'm thinking about it, Argenta, you have 2 force grenades. I want a frag grenade. At least one. Because that probably would have been a better choice than fire, and certainly better than force. So we haven't gotten any notes that clearly would give us this code. So let's keep looking around and see if we can spot anything. Oh, hello. You shall be purified by the motive force, blasphemer.
Take a knee and bow before me.
Ooh. Electro Priest. I think we're on your side. What do we know about these guys? Electrostatic gauntlets that don't do much damage. It's a big area though. Embrace the machine. Creatures gain immunity to fatigue, disturb, perplex, staggered. Reject the flesh. They get increased damage from shock. Reject the flesh 2. And shock healing. The creature restores 10 wounds each time they suffer shock. So they suffer more shock, but whenever they suffer shock, they also heal. Interesting. Well, we are surrounded, which is less than ideal. Oh, and it's an ambush, so we can't even choose starting positions. Alright, that's fine. Did you not do any damage to any of us? Hey, Argenta. You're not really going to be able to get into an area that you can burst fire multiple of them. Maybe standing here or there, we could hit both. Sure, go here. Then if you did that, we're not at risk of shooting any of our allies. She could then do rapid fire to shoot out 8 bullets into here. Which might be good. They have 36 health. So it's going to take a lot of shots to actually bring them down. Or there's always the option of using a grenade. But probably better once we've got them more clustered up. Yeah, let's use rapid fire.
I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury.
And then just try and shoot these guys.
Faith without deed is worthless.
Not bad. Run and gun. And another shot through.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
Huh. Not a bad turn. Okay, so her critical damage is increasing with each of these sets of damage she's done. That's cool. Good dodge. I am rather impressed with how ineffective they've been. Good parries. Yeah, they're being extremely ineffective. So the problem with this, I think... Yeah, Blade Dancer makes melee attacks against random targets, including allies. Because I could get her into positions where she would be close to enemies, but she would also be close to allies. We could do something like... If I did... So we move here. We do a slash. Yeah, move here. Then we'll do Raining Blood.
I bring mirth and retribution.
The road take you.
Then we do a strike on you. So I suppose for a single strike we should use this. Yeah. There. Then we switch back to your two-handed weapons and we do Death from Above to land here.
As the tenants demand.
And then Blade Dance.
Caught by the web.
And we can't go back. Okay. Yeah, that was a good turn for Cabela. Cassia, what can I do with you? Kind of want to move her away from the enemies. Because right now, if she tries anything, it'll probably provoke attacks of opportunity, which is not ideal. So let's take the attack of opportunity to just get away.
Emperor, give me strength.
Or not. Then what? Don't suppose that... No. No, there's not a good way to hit just them. So we could do Point of Curiosity. Try and drag them all together. Yeah, something like that. And then, let's see, if we follow that line, I hope this hits all three, but it might just hit the front too.
If I may.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention to that one. That's fine. Let's bring it down to Cabela. Right, we can't from where you're standing because out of sight. We could move her forward. Sure. From here, could you bring it down? It's still thinking not. You can't see there? Suppose I could step you all the way to there.
Isn't this a job for the serfs?
Don't really like you. I'd rather have her tucked in a corner out of the way. Okay. Let's do Blade Dance again.
My blade. Killing.
There we go.
Pleasure.
Now you've got 2 more Death from Aboves. Which I don't think you can really do anything useful with, all things considered.
Death comes in silence.
So, we'll just end your turn there. Cassia, that's the end of your turn. Heinrichs. Let's cast Iron Arm on yourself for 0 AP. Then we will do a... Yeah, we'll do a Psychic Attack, I think.
I won't object to it.
For good amounts of damage.
For the throne.
Then Endure. Is anyone... Yeah, none of our people are even injured. We'll just go Word of the Emperor then. To cover all of us.
I won't object to it.
Oh, I missed Cabela. That's fine. Ignatius. Ignite this guy.
Nothing I can't do.
Okay, then Run and Gun.
Problem for me.
Firestorm.
You didn't stand a chance.
We've got one guy at 1 hit point. I could just orchestrate flames on him just because. Why not? We've got the AP to do it. Okay. Pascal. Take out this guy, please. So we'll do an analysis. Then step forward. And strike. Oh, and we can do Machine Spirit Banishment because you guys are very techy, so hit him for lots of damage. What? Target with Reject the Flesh suffers 25 shock damage. If the target is a mechanism or machine, it's 50 damage, and its characteristics are reduced by 10 until the end of combat. So he should have taken 25 damage, which would have then healed him for a little bit because of shock healing. But he should have taken 25 damage and then afterwards healed for 10. So the healing for 10... If I'm reading this right, he should have been at negative 25 health, instant dead, and then healed for 10 or something. Sure. Whatever. So he would have died to that fire if I hadn't healed him on accident. Let's get you in an angle where you're not likely to hit an ally, which I don't think I can find. We put you here and then shot. Okay, no chance of hitting an ally.
in battle.
Goodbye.
Emperor's judgment.
The circular cogitator. The electro priest's hiding place must be nearby. I mean, yes. I assume that's what we found before. We can't loot them. That's awkward. Let's save and then try using this. The machine altar accepts the contact circuit restoration hymn with a deferential whir. So this is what they were telling us, what the tech priest told us to use to get to where they've been hiding, which is in here. Doesn't answer the question of the other location we didn't solve. Also, we're killed with a hit to the back from some kind of electric weapon.
Follow my lead.
I think now we're getting to areas we already explored. On the maladies of machine spirits and the ways of diagnostic divinations. Yeah, I'm not
Pay attention.
gonna say not seeing a solution. We found secret doors. Mummified electro priest. The mummified tech priest rests on the table enveloped in wires. That's awkward. The tech priest's body rests on the metal table surrounded by sparking spirals of copper coil. A patina of sacred unguents covers his withered flesh. His augmetics have been polished with great care. Intricate lectues cover the dead man's crossed arms and bare torso, and strands of wires envelop his head. Pascal respectfully bows his head before the dead man and carefully touches the shriveled body with the tip of his mechadendrite. Honored adherent, I thank you for showing us the truth of the Fabricator General Pekrovar's maxim, death does not end the service of the spirit-driven. Pek 55. Examine the body. Disconnect one of the wires from the body or leave the dead man undisturbed. Let's examine the body. I'm not going to disconnect wires. Body seems motionless, but you notice a slight tremor in the fingertips. This ancient servant of the Omnissiah must be data dreaming. His mind, enveloped in a digital reverie, can persist for hundreds or thousands of years while his frail body is decaying. This sacred state of trance is a great reward only earned by the wisest and most pious servants of the machine god. Such purity of color. I've never seen anything like it. Deep, tranquil, shrouded in a cool white cloud. Such unity is thought and spirit. The dead are incapable of exuding such hues. Next to the table the body is resting on, you see small amulets crafted from burned cogitator circuit boards. There is no dust on these small offerings. They were clearly left here recently. Can you hear me, Tech Priest? The light on the crypt becomes a little brighter and sharper, and the smell of ozone fills the air. The vox on the ceiling comes alive and lets forth a solemn binaric aria that turns into a creaking somnolent voice. In this dark hour, I am ready to give you good tidings, Tech Brethren. Now respond with the words of the sacred galvanic hymn. Oh no. The sacred galvanic hymn is a revered and miraculous prayer of the Adeptus Mechanicus. Naturally, you know it very well. Isn't this what we were supposed to give it the other thing? And we're told that we didn't know it? So let us praise the twin charges, the body electric, and the Omnissiah who lights the spark reason within us, and let us carry his charge to those who have turned their minds towards his light. Stick to ordering your monks about, corpse. I will not be chanting about anything for you. I think this is what we're supposed to know for the other cogitator, so I'm going to write it down. If not, then I will feel slightly dumb. But we are looking for where to find that. And this could be it. Twin charges. Body electric. Omnissiah. Who lights the spark of reason. Parry his charge. For those who have turned their minds towards the light. Okay. Let it be so indeed. Who or what are you? The monastery is under attack by heretics. Can you help? Destroy the bodies. The cultists might get to him. That is undesirable. Tries to trouble you no more. Who or what are you? The Vox's voice grows louder. Praetor Electroid Dahr-Impulse 2. By the will of the Omnissiah, the prior of this monastery and the guardian of the miraculous fusion reactor, now and ever, world without end. Here in this cell of mine, I have conquered death, and my mind has soared towards the Omnissiah in a blessed data dream. My body is decaying, but my spirit will remain by my master's side, for I am the sacred sentinel of the code, the guardian of the sacred relic, and the eye that watches over the rite of operation. Tell me what your data dream is like. I am one with the motive force, and it opens my mind to the sacred impulses of knowledge. My reason has become as fast as the flying electron and the ray of light. The time is no more for me, for I am eternal. In my binaric reverie, I comprehend the wisdom of the machine gun and share it with the humble priests who come to my cell thirsting for my knowledge. The monastery is under attack by heretics. Can you help? In my data dream, I saw their unholy requests and rejected them angrily. For it is said in the 4th article of security, no unbeliever's hand shall intrude upon the operation cycle. They have seditious designs on the relic, but should I give you, who does not belong to our faith and fellowship, my blessing to stand up to the blasphemers? Persuasion, I may not be a member of your priesthood, but you and I are of the same faith. It's a good answer. Or coercion, would you prefer to wait until they get their dirty hands inside your sacred reactor? Do you have any idea what they will do to it? We're gonna persuade. I'm not a member of your priesthood, but we are of the same faith. This statement is true. The 1st article of security says, fear above all evils, the defilement of knowledge, and its commands outweigh the prohibition contained in the 6th article of security, let knowledge be locked away from the ignorant. So be it. In the name of shaming the unbelievers, I grant you the blessing of special access and protection from the rage of the motive force. Dry crackling sounds come from inside the crypt's walls as awakened cogitators process the ancient tech priest's command. Well, that's cool. We gained Blessing of Special Access. Praetor Electroid Dahr-Impulse II's blessing is a promise of protection from the fury of motive force. Grants 50% armor against shock damage. Can we do anything with you now? No. You are a far less interesting mummy. Okay. I think that's everything. So let's see if that does indeed happen to be the code we needed to input here. Data altar of sacred analysis. No, I think that was the 2nd galvanic hymn. Maybe? Pilgrim, only the words of the 1st galvanic hymn will reveal gifts hidden behind the veil of knowledge. Let's back out and save. I might need to go through some trial and error on this. None of these match with what I wrote down. So yeah, this is not what I found. So I guess we'll just try one and see what happens. Verse 2 calls to you, Pilgrim. Let us fill our souls with gratitude toward twin poles of the opposite signs that herald the motion of the current, splendid resistors that conceal within them the rite of transfiguration, Watchful breakers that protect us from the sacrilege of the short circuit. Hallowed contacts whose touch conducteth the current, arcane key that closeth the circuit. Or we can step back. So it seemed the first one was the right answer, I think. So we'll try the first option here and see what happens. At some point we're going to get one wrong, and then we can see how that plays out. Hopefully it just lets us keep trying. Now finish the prayer, pilgrim. May the unity of the sacred charges power the memory of ages that is preserved most zealously, the faultless soul that the current washeth over, the mortal body that the mechanisms thereof, the immortal reason that has created the spark, the blessed faith that bringeth light. I guess we'll just choose the first one again. Memory of ages that is preserved most zealously. Only one who has learned the path of the cenobium is worthy of its gifts. Walk the path of the enlightened, absorb their age-old wisdom, and sing with me again. The screen goes dark in disappointment. Okay, so it doesn't tell me which I got wrong. It allowed me to try 3 times. Well, try each of the options and then just said, nope, you were wrong. So it did specify, though, that someone who has learned the path of the cenobium. So maybe later on in the cenobium, we are going to find the answer to that. That's my current theory, and then we can come back. Electro Priest, Dahr-Impulse 4. We've heard that name. Electro Priest, Priest. Alright, none of you have names besides him. A shortish, muscular man wearing the scarlet colors of the priesthood of Mars steps into your path. The wrinkles on his cheeks and forehead point to his propensity for frequent outbursts of fierce anger, but right now he is showing no signs of aggression. Glowing blue patterns of electric tattoos, or electus, show through his oddly bluish tinted skin. The man's eye sockets are dark and empty, yet he turns his face straight towards you with no hesitation. He has a sharp screeching voice, not unlike a bird's cawing. May the charge of the Omnissiah's mercy persist in the hands of the faithful. May the motive force persist in their batteries. Make the sign of the Aquila, the Emperor protects. Another blind heretic to battle. I, rogue trader Ignatius von Valentius, declare this monastery to be under my protection. We know this region is owned by Winterscale. Like this star system. So for me to just show up and say, I'm declaring it's under my protection, feels a little premature. I'm going to start with the sign of the Aquila. Like, I have no problem introducing myself, but declaring it under my protection feels, yeah, premature. Make the sign of the Aquila, the Emperor protects. The man responds curtly as if giving a military command. The Omnissiah knows all, comprehends all. The hallowed electrodynamic cenobium receives you, pilgrim. I am Dahr-Impulse 4. Not 4. Why do I keep thinking it's 4? It's 6. I know Roman numerals. A servant of the motive force, and the praetor electroid of this sacred monastery. Pascal bows down humbly before the man. A trill of binaric signals comes from his box, to which the praetor responds with a solemn gesture of blessing. Pascal turns to you and says, the rank of praetor electroid is a sign of high standing within the electro-priest fraternity. To have been granted an audience is a great honor. The praetor electroid looks at Cabela and gives a dignified nod. You have brought an assassin. Good. So you'll find much work here. Are you ready for the new toils, blessed slayer? Always. Can it be any other way? Dahr-Impulse 6. It was to you, was it not, that Logis Abel came seeking an interpretation of his data trance? I have a few questions about this place and the people in it. Why are you calling me a pilgrim? Or what happened here and how do you manage to survive? We'll start with asking about Logis Abel. It was to you, was it not, that Logis Abel came seeking an interpretation of his data trance? Yes. Tech Brother Abel arrived here to engage in a magnetic meditation that would help clarify his visions. Unfortunately, the heretic's machinations prevented us from completing the ritual. The esteemed Logis volunteered his help in defending the monastery, but contact with him was lost soon afterward. Tell me more about Logis Abel. We did not speak much to each other. He preferred to devote his time to solitary reflection in his chapel. The Omnissiah has given Tech Brother Abel a gift of great insight, which allows him to discern each individual facet of existence rather than the overall view. This makes his logic different from that of other people. His mind has always been able to combine facts and conclusions in harmonious wholes that were nothing short of beautiful. Many among my flock found his sermons poetic. What kinds of visions was he receiving? The Omnissiah's revelation was encrypted with great meticulousness, which indicates its great importance. Grasping it fully is beyond my ability, but a single touch was enough for me to realize the enormity of the secret concealed within, or more exactly, the secret design, which was how Tech Brother Abel referred to it. His mind was discerned in the world around him, traces of some grand silence that he wished to comprehend. Isn't secret design the terminology the cultists were using back on Rykad Minoris to talk about Aurora's secret design, grand plan, whatever? I feel like it is, but I'm not certain. Well, Logis Abel is dead. Sad news indeed. Tech Brother Abel was chosen by the Omnissiah to be a comprehender of great mysteries. May his spirit's motive force come into being anew in the fount of the miraculous fusion reactor. I have a few questions about this place and the people in it. Truth is like light, and blocking its path is criminal. The Praetor Electroid nods majestically. Who are you? The hardworking servants and dwellers of this cenobium, electro-priests of the Adeptus Mechanicus. The Corporsari did us a great honor by entrusting into our care the sacred relic around which the hallowed electrodynamic cenobium was built. What precisely do you believe in? We've devoted ourselves to the worship of that aspect of the machine god which is known as the motive force. It is the blessed divine spark that creates impetus in the universe. The Omnissiah, in his mercy, gave the world the gift of the motive force, and we follow its impulses in order to increase it, bringing it to lay people and protect it from unholy hands. The relic that this monastery protects provides the entire planet of Rykad Minoris with the blessed motive force, and we, unworthy though we are glad to serve the ancient machine that dwells in this place. Tell me more about your relic. It would be pointless to describe the miraculous fusion reactor. Only through beholding its ferocious power can one comprehend its blessed essence and fear the might of the Omnissiah. Its core was found 4,000 years ago and delivered to Rykad Minoris by the holy warrior of faith, Dahr-Impulse, the first during one of his campaigns. Its sacred spark has not gone out for an instant, and the walls and power units of this cenobium have been erected around the relic in order to protect it from ignorant laypeople, as well as protect them from its formidable might. Pascal keeps his solemn silence, but the quick clicking of his mechadendrite's claws betray his excitement at being so close to the sacred archaeotech. You are not like other members of the Adeptus Mechanicus I've met. Our faith imposes a duty of obedience on us. Every electro-priest is given numerous electus that combine in a blessed Voltergeist circuit, allowing feeble flesh to withstand the might of the motive force. That is why our skin glows with its light, and our eyes boil and melt when we are ordained. The Omnissiah's tears is what we call this phenomenon, this dying away of unworthy flesh. As we shun the layperson's primitive means of looking at the world, we gain the ability to sense the motive force around us with our entire bodies. Okay, that's cool. Losing your eyes, but being able to see electrical impulses in the world. I understand everything. That seems like a bit of a bold statement. I am pleased to be a conductor of truth. Why are you calling me a pilgrim? Only those laypeople who desire to experience the motive force are allowed to cross the monastery's threshold. All others are profaners and criminals. You do not belong to the fraternity of Electropeace, but your intentions are good. If you are not seeking the Omnissiah's wisdom, then it was the motive force itself that brought you here to find it. And what happened here, and how did you manage to survive? When the heretics descended in droves upon the cenobium, we gave battle, but the unholy foes buried the Omnissiah's warriors under a mass of their bodies, thus extinguishing the defenders' sparks of purity. It was then that I ordered my few surviving brethren to retreat into the monastery's secret chambers. Upon taking refuge there, we began to destroy the blasphemous intruders in surreptitious ways. Alas, as fiery as my brethren's anger was, I had no right to permit them to die in honest combat. for the task of taking back our abode still lay ahead for us. I must commend the skill with which your secret chambers are concealed. You hear a tinge of wounded pride in Heinrich's words, as if he is upset about failing to discover the Electro-Priest's shelter. Your choice of tactics was wise and well. There was no point in losing more lives in the massacre that the cultists wrought. The leader of the heretics fought her way into the Ark, wherein dwells the miraculous fusion reactor. She is trying to desecrate the rite of operation with her unholy litanies, so the relic may be corrupted and the world of Rykad Minoris may perish in a font of fire. But my brethren, in their magnetic meditation, are hampering her efforts by chanting access request prayers in unison, thereby supplanting the commands that the blasphemers enter. The Praetor Electroid nods towards his entranced comrades. This holy place will be protected against sacrilegious practices, I swear it. And the monastery is attacked by people who look like Electro Priests. My enforcers and the governor's guards can help you reclaim the monastery. You made the right decision when you chose to avoid combat and save yourselves. A true person of faith would never have hidden and let the enemy take over their temple. I disagree with that. There's times to back off and wait for a better opportunity. Scoff, I was under no misconceptions that anything resembling a fighting spirit could be expected from humble priests, or say nothing. I think this is the first question, and the monastery is attacked by people who look like Electro Priests. That is a lamentable mistake. We knew of no help that was on its way, and were not expecting to encounter any allies in the monastery's chambers. But I see that you are alive, and I mourn the senseless deaths of my brethren. Well, my enforcers and the governor's guards can help you reclaim the monastery. I cannot allow this. Lay people are forbidden from visiting the monastery, and only a select few are allowed to behold the Ark and the relic within. You and your retinue are pilgrims of a special status bestowed by the Emperor. However, should any soldier, unblessed by the Omnissiah, cross this monastery's threshold, I will deem them a heretic and have them put to death. I mean, we were blessed by your dude and your mummy. So, does that count for anything? Confirmed. The presence of lay people on monastery grounds without the Praetor Electroid's blessing will be regarded as a sacrilegious violation of the holy rite of operation. Heinrich opens his mouth for a second to say something, but changes his mind and quietly clears his throat instead. Cassia nods thoughtfully. Yes, I see. House Arcilio follows the same rules when it comes to outsiders. You made the right decision when you chose to avoid combat yourself. Yeah, you made the right decision. Thank you, Pilgrim. It was not easy watching unholy intruders stampede through the chambers of my temple. We all envied our brethren who had fallen before that sacrilege began. Well, I wish to get to the holy reactor. Didn't you just say that if we go there, you're gonna kill us? The Ark is hidden from Pilgrim's eyes, but considering the extraordinary circumstances of your visit to this monastery, I grant you the right. The hall that leads to the High Reliquary has been barred by the enemy, but I will open a secret path for you. Enter the Ark and experience the motive force, Pilgrim. We will pray to the security systems that they may refrain from punishing you for your intrusion. Requires dogmatic follower. Cool. The time has come to prove your loyalty to the Omnissiah, Praetor. In the name of the God of humanity, strengthen my numbers with the faithful eager to fulfill their duty, so that they may punish the blasphemers. Or I must press on. Do we ask him to send some of his tech priests to aid us? Because currently, they're supposedly all in prayer to stop the desecration being done by Aurora. I'm gonna try it. Yeah, strengthen my numbers. Fulfill their duty. The Praetor stays silent for a long time. Finally, he lets out a deep sigh. Thank you, Pilgrim, for reminding me of our duty to humanity. I will send the Cenobium's warriors to your aid, if that is what his warriors want me to do. Okay, so we've got 2 Electro Priests following us. And the rest remain doing their prayers. I guess before we head on, can I inspect anything else in this room? Yes, there's goods we can acquire. Machine right set, always good. Granted, we haven't needed to use one yet because we always just have enough tech skill. Let's save and then head down into the bowels of the monastery.